I was putting on my makeup, getting ready to go to my final appointment to make sure my son was growing properly, and I heard Steve Zabin mention that a plane had flown into one of the towers. They had no idea that we were being attacked. I listened for a while until I heard a shudder, almost as if they realized that something bad had just happened, and that was when the second plane hit the second tower and there was dead silence. Realizing that something was terribly wrong, I turned on the television, and then, like many of you may have done, I called my mom and asked her what was going on. Shortly after speaking to her, I called my dad. He was so scared, as was I, as was just about everyone. I called my husband. Anyone whose voice I loved to hear, I called. I remember wondering why this had to happen right before I had my son. I was scared to bring him into the world. I didn't know what the world would be like for him. I didn't know what the world would be like for anybody. That was 10 years ago, and so much has changed in my life since then. I look back and realize how naive and young I was at the time, all the mistakes I had yet to make and didn't know, how much I've grown, how much I've become closer to God, how much I try as much as I humanly can to help other people, and now I think I finally get it. 9/11 is one of many terrorizing moments that have happened in our history. The Holocaust, Pearl Harbor, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, so many things that we can't list them or mention them all here. But one thing through all of those moments is a commonality that cannot be denied. Each survivor made it through because of the efforts of those closest to them and also because of the help of perfect strangers. Everyone else separated by distance from these attacks were affected by what they witnessed and saw, what they heard, and made a choice to do better, to be a better parent, to be a better husband, a better wife, a better son, a better friend, a better daughter. We made choices to look at the realities of what this really means. 9/11 was an immeasurable tragedy, but what would remain to be the most tragic are those who never had a chance to make peace with the world, with themselves, with their loved ones on 9/10. I would venture to believe that there were some who were fighting on 9/10 who went to the towers on 9/11, some who hadn't spoken to a mom or dad in years, things that probably to those who lived know now how small the issue was compared to the loss of a life that they can't get back. The lesson in all of this is not anything complex. This should not have happened, but it did. We can all honor those who lost their lives by doing what they would have done if they'd survived. Say I'm sorry. Hug your children. Hug your spouse. Hug your loved one. Help a stranger. Forgive. Pay for the person behind you in the McDonald's drive-thru, which I've done many times. We can't control what terrorists do with the little bit of power that they have. But what we can definitely do is make this world a better place for our children, for each other, for ourselves, as God intended for all of us to do all along. Thank you.